Level 43 upgrade.
So today we have an extremely quick and easy upgrade. And I technically don't really need this, but I think it's gonna look really good. We have STRC's battery strap, of course, made of aluminum and anodized green. So yeah, all I'm gonna do is pull it out of the package and install it. So, out with the old, and of course, in with the new. And yeah, that's it. It's a very simple little upgrade, but visually, I think it looks really good. But this seems like a really cheap upgrade video, so let's go ahead and do one more thing. So while I was going through all my RC parts, I did find these. These are the Traxxas steel diff output yokes. And honestly, since I don't have any kind of steel drive shafts for this RC yet, this is by far the best next option. So let's go ahead and get these installed. Once that grub screw's out of the way, I just have to pull the top of the drive shaft down, slide it to the side, and pull it on out. And here is the yoke we're going to be replacing. However, there's a little modification I want to do while I'm at this. So I'm going to move down to the tire, and I'm going to go ahead and take it off by undoing the 4mm nut. With the tire out of the way, I need to go ahead and take off the wheel hex hub. Now I have the STRC ones on here, so they're held on with a grub screw. But if you have the stock ones, you just have to pop it off with a flathead screwdriver. Once that's out of the way, I'm going to slide out the axle pin. I'm going to take off the Teflon washer, set that off to the side, and then I'm going to go ahead and pull out the drive shaft. So now it's time for a very annoying part. With this tool that Traxxas usually includes with all of the RCs that you buy, you're going to go ahead and pry off the yoke. Just going to go ahead and slide it in just like that, and then pry it out. And there you have it. I'm going to do that to this as well. With that out of the way, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the output yoke to the bottom part of the drive shaft. And I'm just going to reverse the process. I'm going to slide in the bottom pole. Once it's into this position, I'm just going to go ahead and use that tool and then pry it in. Just like that. Now for the other side. There we go. Now the reason why I'm doing this little modification is that since the majority of the time the drive shaft is going to be like this, it's going to prevent dirt from going into it. When it's reversed, dirt's going to go in here and it's going to cause a grind over time, and it's going to rough up the plastic. So it's always a good idea to do this little simple modification, especially if your RC has a really high riding height, which Creature kinda does. She's more like this than anything else, but over time, just gravity is gonna keep dirt out of there. Now I'm just gonna slide the drive shaft together. I'm gonna put in the bottom axle back through the bearings, and then you can see that there is an eye hole on the output. We're gonna line that with a hole on the yoke, and then slide it in, and then reinstall the grub screw. Then I'm gonna go ahead and move down to the axle. We're gonna reinstall the Teflon washer, followed by the axle pin. I'm gonna slide it in, make it sure that it's even on each side, then attach the wheel hex hub, slap the tire back on, and reattach the wheel nut. Now the problem with the other side is that the gear cover prevents you from reaching the yoke. So what you're going to have to do is take it off. It's held in with 2 screws, one on bottom and one on top. Get that out of the way and you can see that now the spur gear is blocking you. But that's okay because we can easily take this off by removing the 3 screws that hold it down to the slipper clutch. Once those screws are out, you're just going to get a flathead screwdriver and you're going to pry off the spur gear from each side. Pull it off, set that off to the side, and now you can easily reach the yoke. And now I'm going to do the same thing to this side as I did to the other. Once all that's in place, I'm just going to go ahead and get the spur gear. I'm going to line it back up with the holes that are on the slipper clutch, push it down all the way, and then reinstall the 3 screws, and then reattach the gear cover, which is held on with 2 screws. After reattaching the tire, I am finally done installing the yokes. It's a small little upgrade, but it does add a little bit more strength to the drive shafts, and this little modification does help out with some of the dirt and grind. And of course, the STRC battery strap is still looking so good. And before I end this video, I want to go ahead and give a shout out to everyone who's helped me on Patreon. Because of you guys, these upgrades are possible. And that was Creatures level 43 upgrade.